Welcome to Brotuned Airsoft. This is my first airsoft gun I bought. It's an E&C model 638. And I brought it to the field and it's shooting like 1.8 joules, so I can't even use it for airsoft. So today I'm gonna try modding the spring to get it down into an acceptable range so I can actually play with my rifle at the airsoft game. Luckily, I went to Clarington Woods and they loaned me one of their rental guns for free so I could play my first airsoft game ever with my son. And now we're gonna try to get this gun back in the game. Let's try chronographing it and see what it shoots right now. And I know with 0.2s or 0.25s, we got to get down to about 370 feet per second. Right now, I think it's shooting like 410. So let's just verify that right now. I'm using the Vulcan 0.20 gram BBs. And let's see what it cronies. 410.2, 408.9, 409.5, 410.6 to 5, 411.7. So that's way too hot to be playing a game. I think our field is 1.49 joules is the limit, and let's see if we can get us down to that. So that's the battery I'm using right there. Vulcan battery, 7.4 LiPo, 30C, 1300 milliamps. So I'm gonna take the spring out now. It's a quick change spring system, and we'll take a look at it, see what we can do. So get the buffer tube off. You need a Phillips, but you need like a long one, probably like 6, 7, 8-inch long Phillips screwdriver. So I just have an attachment on this. So we're just gonna loosen that off. And you gotta be careful because the wires for the battery go through the buffer tube. I'm pretty sure that's off now. Let's see. Okay, so that's removed. We'll just leave all that stuff inside because we don't need to remove that. And then our spring is behind this here. There's a big flat blade slot inside there, and it's a quarter turn or so to get it out. So we're gonna do that next. So get your flat blade out, put it inside. You just push a little bit forward and you line up. It's almost like splined. I can get it lined up. And you get your spring out. What I'm gonna do here, I might try cutting off a little bit of the coil, see if we can get a little bit less spring power, since I don't have any springs on hand to replace at the moment. So my first step, I'm just gonna cut one full rotation off. So I'm gonna cut it right back here. And then you have to have this flat so it rides against the spring buffer perfectly flat and doesn't talk your spring sideways at all, any side torque in that. So to get that done, you have to heat it up and then bend your spring a little bit. Then we'll file it so it's all flat. And we'll put it back in the gun and see what we crony at. There we go. If it would focus, come on. There we go. So I cut a piece off. There, I'll have to zoom in. So I cut the one coil off, I heated it up, and I press it down on a piece of metal, and then I took my grinder and I ground it perfectly flat. So now we're just gonna put it back in the rifle. If it would focus, you can see that. Come on, there we go. And we'll see what it cronies at now. Okay, so I have the new cut spring in here, and let's see what our numbers are. Get the same BBs in. I don't have any of the buffer tube on in case I have to cut more off. Come around so you can see the chronograph numbers. Make sure you can see those numbers. 412, 49. So it didn't basically do any of them. So I'll cut another coil off and we'll see. 411. Basically we're exact same. I'm gonna cut one more coil. So here is the second coil I cut off, and see how the spring isn't flat there now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grind it down flat, and then we'll put it in and see if it made any difference again, because it didn't really make a difference with one coil cut off. So this is the second coil cut. Here you can see I flattened that spring off now. So I'll throw it back in the gun and we'll see what we get. I keep having this little issue here. The pin keeps coming out of the connector on the gun side. So I'm gonna push that back in and then we'll try this again. I was wondering why I wasn't firing. I thought maybe I screwed something up, but clearly it's just that plug. All right, we're ready to chronograph. Here we go. This is 2 coils cut. 403, 398, 396, error, 397. Well, we're on 398 now, so we technically are illegal, but we're right on the very edge. I might take one more coil off just to be safe, or maybe in a half coil, and that way if I had to go up, I can just get another spring or just shim it. So I'll just cut off, I'll do a half coil. Let's do a half coil and we'll try and we'll see what we got with that. We're just gonna pinch it like that with that over top, and here we go. There we go, quarter coil cut. So there's our cut coil. So I have to heat this part up right here, cherry red, and then we'll just push it down, make it flat, and then we'll grind it, and we'll go from there. Starting to glow nice and red now. Heat up a little bit more, and I will hit it on my vise and flatten that spring out. Just like that. So now we have a flattened end, and all we have to do is grind it, and then we'll be putting it back in the gun. That's a half coil off now again. So we're just under 400 feet a second. Let's see what happens now. Don't worry, I have my safety squints on. And now we have a flat coil, if you can see that. There we go. Now let's put that bad boy back in the gun. So we got the gun all ready. No buffer tube on it or anything, just a spring in with the battery attached, and let's get chroning. All right, here we go. This is 2.5 coils off. $394. So we should be legal at this with these 20s. So we're under 400 feet a second. There we go. So hopefully my next game I can actually play. Here we go. Rifle's all back together, functioning. And we're under 400 feet per second. Yes, I'm not really used to downgrading stuff. Usually you're trying to get more feet per second out of air guns and stuff like that, but I guess in this case, field rules are with a .20 gram BB, you can max hit 400 feet per second. As long as we keep it under 400 feet per second, we're good with my gun. So it took 2.5 coils off to get compliant with the rules at my field. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and this is the first of many videos to come. Yeah, we're just getting into Airsoft, and it's a ton of fun. Me and my kid love it, so we're going to be playing a lot. We'll get some more footage and tech tips and stuff, how you can DIY your stuff at home. All right, guys, take care.